So this is the Bitcoin miner position, the MPI, which tracks miner selling behavior, has taken a nosedive since its highs in January. This suggests a significant shift. Miners are likely holding onto their Bitcoin or even accumulating more instead of offloading large amounts. So you can see the graph there showing that we're pretty much at a, it says all-time low pretty much, of miners selling their Bitcoin off. And what that means to me, what that suggests to me is that we just went through the halving, and these miners are making half of what they were before. I mean, miners make, all their revenues are in Bitcoin. That's how they earn revenue. Everything's in Bitcoin. And at the halving, their revenues got cut in half, right? So all their costs, all their electricity costs to power these Bitcoin mines stayed the same or went up, while their revenues got cut in half essentially. And so what this suggests to me is it's going to create a very interesting dynamic here, because they're holding on to their Bitcoin instead of selling it, which suggests to me that they think that the price is very low compared to what it should be. If they were selling it, that would suggest that they were getting a fair price for their Bitcoin. So this is going to go two ways, I think, for these Bitcoin miners with kind of where we are right now. So it seems like they're waiting for the price to go up to sell their Bitcoin to increase their fiat cash, their fiat position, in order to pay off their bills, obviously, and to make profit. So they're either going to wait and wait and wait for the price to go up, and the price will eventually go up, you'd think, or they're going to turn off. They're going to shut down. And that's kind of the two avenues they have right now. They're, like I said, they're either going to wait for the price to go up, and who knows how long they could be waiting for that to happen, or they're going to start shutting down their miners because they're not going to have enough cash to pay for their electricity bills. So very interesting. I think in the next couple months, I don't know how long that they can sustain that, holding on to their Bitcoin instead of selling it to pay off their bills. I'm guessing a lot of them have like a short-term line of credit, or they have some financing agreements with bigger companies. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now. And I listened to a podcast last week from TFTC, and they were talking about the centralization of miners and how it's a problem right now. And the reason it's a problem is because of the payouts within the Bitcoin mining. And so the fixed mining pools, they're the ones who send payments regardless of how much Bitcoin they actually won in the block rewards. So if you hook up to a pool and you hook up to a fixed pool, you're going to get the same amount of payout regardless of how much Bitcoin were actually mined. And in order for a mining company to be able to facilitate that, they have to have a lot of Bitcoin on reserve. And so they've been basically relying on the huge companies, I think it's Antpool, to provide them with that liquidity to pay out the miners within their pools. And so that's created a centralized dynamic within Bitcoin. And so I think we're going to start seeing the same thing. As the longer that these Bitcoin miners hold on to the Bitcoin versus selling it, the harder they're going to be looking, they're going to be seeking out sources of financing. And so essentially what I'm saying is, if the price doesn't go up soon, the Bitcoin mining industry is going to be in for some trouble. But at the same time, this is how the Bitcoin mining industry works, is if companies run into trouble, they power off, the hash rate of the network goes down, and the difficulty goes down. And so it's much more accessible for the mining companies who are able to withstand that. They have an easier path to getting Bitcoin, right? Because there's less competition within the mining industry. As more and more power down, the difficulty adjustment goes down, and it's easier for the miners who got through that to earn Bitcoin. So very, very interesting.